Joining us is head coach Josh Mull of the Reynolds Raiders, who will begin his 11th season at the helm of the Reynolds football program. And, Coach, time has flown, hasn't it? 11 years now.
Yeah, it seems like yesterday that I went from an assistant coach to a head coach, and it's been a wonderful experience. I have a great staff over the years from the beginning to now, and, I mean, it's changed faces, but things are moving well.
What's been the key for the turnaround, for the program that had kind of been a good program to a program now that has won 3 consecutive District 10 championships? Well,
I'd like to say that the biggest thing was that we stopped focusing on winning. You know, everybody wants to win, and everyone is in that situation to want to win, but not everybody's willing to put in what it takes to win. And that's something that we have focused on for the past 5 years now, and it's what I feel got us into the playoffs to start, and kind of has kept us there, and that's focusing on the process. We have to focus on the process week in and week out and worry about improvement. Championships are a result of the effort that you put in before those things happen. It's funny because I remember Nate Lexel, he graduated last year with us, and when he came in as a freshman, I said, if you're here to win district championships, there's the door. And he came up to me 2 years afterwards, and he said, Coach, I was so mad when you said that. He said, but now I understand what you meant. And that's what I think is the biggest difference, is the focus on the improvement and the focus on working together to try and get to that point, and having the goal to get to the playoffs and win District 10 championships, but you have to put in that work to make those things a reality.
And you're coming off the graduation of one of the greatest classes in Reynolds history, a bunch of very good athletes that are no longer part of the program. What's been the challenge of trying to fill some of those shoes?
Well, that's high school football. You know, it's you don't get to pick and choose who you have. We don't have the transfer portal. It'd be nice to have the transfer portal in high school, but that's not a non-reality. So the way high school sports work is kids come through your program, you coach them up, you try to make them the best players that they can be. Hopefully they leave a mark on the kids that are younger than them, and then new people step up. Losing a Jalen Wagner hurts a lot. Losing a Braden McCloskey hurts a lot. Losing some of those offensive linemen definitely hurts, but I think that we're very young, and I think that a lot of kids are ready to step up and try to compete.
As you talk about Braden McCloskey, filling that quarterback position is always a challenge and a key for a team to have success. Where are you at in that process right now?
We're trying to find the right keys to the puzzle. We have several people competing for the spot. Gavin Alibrand, who is a senior, last year played some wide out for us. He played a little bit of backup quarterback for us in practice and things like that, and he seems to be taking the edge right now. But we also have a sophomore, Xavier Zachrich, who seems to be understanding, learning the game, and I think he's going to be a key factor as we go through the season. I told all 4 of our quarterbacks that they have to make sure they understand what every position is doing, because not only are they going to be expected to be a quarterback possibly, but they have to be somewhere else on the field.
Your team enters the year, I guess, with mixed emotions from around the district and the county. People really aren't sure what to expect out of the Reynolds program, unlike the last 3 years. Maybe not an underdog role, but definitely not the favorite role. What's your feeling about that?
I'd rather be the underdog, to be honest with you. I think being the underdog makes you fight a little bit more, work a little bit harder. I think there's a lot of people who still put a big target on Reynolds' back after the past 3 years of success that we've had. I think we just have to go out and week in, week out, and put our best foot forward to win games in the fourth quarter, and let the chips fall as they may. There's no expectation of returning to the District 10 championship game, although that's always a goal of players and coaches. We're just going to take it one game at a time and see where it leads.
I know it's early. You're finishing your first week of acclimatization week, and then you have a full practice next week. But what's in your mind, what's the strength of this football team?
Youth. I say that tongue in cheek, but we definitely are relying on a large sophomore class. We have 4 or 5 seniors, 1 junior, and a ton of sophomore and freshmen. So, I think our strength lies in our youth. It's the future of our program, and I think if they can really gel together, they can give themselves the opportunity to compete this year and into the future.
As you look at Region 1, from your perspective, is there a favorite or two, or is it pretty much up for grabs right now?
I think there's always a favorite. I think there's that you look at who returns the most players. Lakeview is definitely a team that returns a lot of players. Cambridge Springs, Maplewood. You can never count out Mercer. Kennedy Catholic with a new coach. You never know what's going to happen there. So I think we're looking at good single A competition all year round.
Lastly, what's going to be a couple keys from your perspective for Reynolds to be a contender again for a district title?
I think it's the youth. I think we have to look at the youth of our program, especially our sophomore class. And I know that they're a talented bunch, but how well are they going to meld together? How well are they going to work together? They had lots of success as 8th graders in our junior high program. They have the same anticipation. They work hard. We talked a lot over the off season about how it's not fair to them to only be sophomores and have to lead a program and really help the seniors out this year with there only being 4 or 5 guys, and they're embracing it. They're stepping up to the plate. They're more focused in practice, but it's great to do things without pads on or with just helmets and shoulder pads. It's another thing to go out and compete on a Friday night. So I look forward to Union City. I think they're going to be a good first test for us on the 26th, and we have to go out and we have to play and put ourselves in a position to win a football game in the fourth quarter. If those sophomores can come around and play well together, I think that anything can happen.
Coach, we appreciate your time as always. Wish you and your program a great year, a lot of success, a lot of health, and I'm sure we will cross paths throughout the season.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bob.